This happened in 2021 when I was renting a small house in Oregon with my girlfriend. The place wasn't anything special. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a big overgrown backyard, the kind of home you'd call cozy if you're being generous. It was also old, like built in the 50s old. The floorboards creaked, the heater barely worked, and worst of all, it had a crawl space. Not a basement, just this tight dirt floor void beneath the house, accessible only through a little hatch in the laundry room. I never went down there, until I had to. It started with noises. At night, while lying in bed, I'd hear faint scraping sounds below us. At first I assumed it was animals, maybe rats or raccoons. We lived near woods, so that made sense. But the sounds kept happening, and they were weird, not random, scampering or scratching. They were steady, repetitive, like something or someone was dragging something across the dirt. I told my girlfriend about it. She brushed it off and said I was probably dreaming, but then she heard it too. One night she shook me awake, whispering, "Do you hear that?" And I did. This soft thump, drag, thump, drag. Like something was crawling under us. It went on for about 5 minutes, then stopped. Dead silence. The next morning, I decided to check the crawl space. I hated the idea, but I needed peace of mind. I grabbed a flashlight, opened the hatch in the laundry room, and immediately gagged. The smell that hit me was awful, like mold, piss, and something dead. I shined the light down into the darkness. I could see the dirt floor, wooden beams, cobwebs, nothing out of the ordinary. I started to climb in but stopped. On the ground near the entrance was something that hadn't been there before. A broken wristwatch, covered in dirt. The glass cracked. It wasn't mine. It wasn't my girlfriend's. I climbed back out. That day, I went to Home Depot and bought a motion sensor camera, the kind that connects to your phone. I set it up just inside the crawl space, pointing toward the back. That night, we went to bed. Around 2:12 a.m., I got a notification. Motion detected. Crawl space camera. I opened the app. At first, the footage showed nothing. Just darkness and the occasional dust particle floating by. Then I saw it. Something moved across the back of the frame. Slowly, almost like it was crawling. I rewound, paused, zoomed in. It was a person, a man. He was shirtless, thin, absolutely filthy. His face was smeared with dirt, eyes wide open, staring directly at the camera. And worst of all, he smiled. He crawled out of frame, then back in a minute later, dragging what looked like a plastic bag behind him. Then the feed cut out. I didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning I called the police. I showed them the footage. 2 officers showed up and checked the crawl space. They were under for maybe 10 minutes before one of them called out, "We've got something." They found a pile of food wrappers, a torn blanket, some kind of homemade knife made out of a sharpened toothbrush, and a Polaroid photo of a woman. It wasn't anyone I recognized. The man was gone, no trace of him. They said he might have been homeless, or squatting, that he probably got in months ago and had been living under our house. The officer said they'd keep patrolling the area, but that was it. Nothing else they could do. They didn't treat it like a serious threat, but I did. We left that house 3 days later, broke the lease and moved in with my brother while we searched for something else. 2 weeks after we left, I got a text from the new tenant. She had found my number on a package that was misdelivered to the house. She asked if we had left anything in the crawl space because she found a note. It was scribbled on the back of that same Polaroid, the one with the unknown woman. The note said, "You were quiet. That's why I liked you. But she's too loud. I don't like loud." She called the police. Again. This time, they searched the entire crawl space and sealed it shut. They never found the man, and I still don't know who the woman in the photo was. But sometimes, I think about the night I almost went fully into that crawl space and wonder, what would have happened if I had?